Morning, my students. We are back to our lecture in 852 Consumer Behavior. During last lecture, we touched a number of things. We defined consumer behavior, reasons for the study of consumer behavior, differences between consumer buying behavior and consumer buying behavior. However, the lecture did not bring to conclusion the content of module 1. So today I want to wrap it up with the theories and models used in the study of consumer behavior, which will wrap up the module 1. Actually, consumer behavior has been aligned to fall into a number of theories. And no wonder why scholars have read that consumer behavior is based on theory. So today, we are going to look at a number of theories that are bearing with consumer behavior. In this case, we are looking at how our past experience determine what we buy, how certain promotional messages, which are repeated over and over, will us into buying. Also, how income, disposable income, determine what we buy. Okay, so these theories have been handled over and over by scholars, and they made meaning as to why we buy one item and the other. The first under that arrangement is learning theory. Learning theory was developed by Pavlov, and it centers on, or rather, it's based on past experience inherent in consumer buying behavior that result to buying again or not buying again, that repeat purchase. Pavlov used dog to demonstrate that theory. A dog he used bell to invite dog anytime he wants to feed the dog. So anytime you ring the bell, the dog will run salvating, coming for the food. And he continues feeding the dog in that form. At a point, he withdrew his food and rang the bell. And yet, the dog came to strike for the food. So the theory is trying to tell us that what we have experienced keep lingering over our life over a time. So to say, when you buy a good product and use it, we are likely to go and buy that, make a repeat purchase. But whereby the product did not give you satisfaction, the likelihood is that you will not buy the product again. You don't like to buy the product again. In fact, some scholars say that the consumer will hate the product, you dislike the product, dislike that very day, dislike the place he bought the product, and even the very seller that gave him that product. So you can see the consequences of not giving the products the required ingredients that will attract customers. So the lesson I expected to learn from here is that marketers are advised to prepare their goods and services to remain memorable to the minds of consumers in terms of satisfaction. Then the other one is Machiavellian economic model or theory. It's also, Machiavellian economic model or theory is also one of the traditional models. And the model is talking about our financial background, our financial strengths. It's saying that our expenses or what we spend is based on the strength of our finances. That we are that from time to time we make preferences, we make choice and preferences based on what we can afford. So to say, from time to time we could go for high quality, expensive products because we have got enough finance to purchase it. And at times we could go for less expensive and less quality products where we don't have enough money to buy the product. Okay, we shall also look at the one we call buyer's black box or buyer response stimuli. The buyer's black box is a model that describes how certain marketing stimuli and environmental stimuli enter the minds of the consumers and produce positive or negative response. In this context, talking about marketing stimuli, we talked about something like products, that is product quality, price, the price they are tied to product, place, that is availability of the product, and promotion, which is all about information concerning what the product is all about or what we benefit from taking the product. So the point is that human brain or mind is assumed to be empty or black until very certain stimuli enter it and then it produces a response. Think of entering a dark room, a room where there's no light. Definitely you will not see anything. But as soon as there's a little light admitted into the room, begin to see lights and begin to know where certain things are kept. So if we can compare this to products, we know that product features would produce attraction. Product quality could produce attraction. And product packaging, among others, can also attract us to buy the product. In like manner, the price of the products also is a big tool in attracting purchase. At times, when products are giving high price, or sold at a steaming price, a good number of consumers may not go for it when they don't have what it takes to buy it. And then, when it is at a relatively low price, it might command higher purchases. That of place describe availability. Of course, it is very clear that when the product can be reached, when we have access to the products, we are bound to go for it rather than searching far and wide for the product. So making product widely available creates a competitive advantage for the company that engage in that. Another all-important marketing stimuli is promotion. The job of promotion includes creating awareness, persuading us to buy, encouraging us to buy more, and encouraging us to buy over and over. It's also used to differentiate similar products from each other. So promotion can arouse our interest. We are all aware that we may have, in one way or the other, or one time or the other, made purchases for products that we shouldn't have ordinarily buy, if not because of promotion. Then the other external stimuli are economic stimuli, economic factors, technological factors, political factors, and cultural factors. Actually, economic factors have to do with financial strength of the buyer. The financial strength of the buyer greatly determine what he or she will buy. You could be enticed by product features. You could be enticed by the price of product. You could be enticed by knowing that the product exists. You could also be enticed by the functionalities of the product. But when you don't have what it takes to buy it, believe you me, you're not going to look for the product. The other one is technological factors. Technology has remodeled a number of products in the sense that certain products that were packaged previously in the previous years may not even meet the test of time because it has been taken over by technology. We are all aware that the number of products have gone obsolete, have been deleted, have died in the market simply because technology has made them off the road. Think of typewriting material, typewriting machine. Think of something like bongo trouser or the old. I hope many of you are familiar with that. We're all born when we talk about bongo trousers or typing machine, typewriters. All these things are the old-fashioned products which have been set up for the market by technology. Okay, we are also supposed to look at something like political factors. Political factors have a great influence on where, which, and when certain products are supposed to exist or to appear. Politically, certain products are domiciled in one environment, denying the other environment access to the product. Or certain products have been made not to exist because of political interest. And vice versa, certain products are made to be available as against the other one. The quality and superiority aspect of it notwithstanding. Culture is also another interesting factor, which has a very good influence on consumers' buying choice. Because people can go for a product because it conforms to their belief. It was worn by their forefathers or their family approve of it. And they can also be forbidden to take such products because their forefathers or families are not inclined to using it. So a close look at the model, that is black box model, will show us clearly three good boxes. The one that is marketing another stimulus are the one I have discussed. And then the arrow sends us another box which comprise buyer's characteristics, buyer's decision process. And what is there is that buyer's characteristics are varying. It has to do with buyer's financial background, buyer's educational knowledge, exposure to where and how to source certain products, how to interpret various promotional messages, and their compliance to certain technological products, as well as cultural background. And this, of course, this will have a great way in the buyer decision process, which we are going to discuss in our subsequent lectures. However, when marketing and other stimulus variables are injected into buyers' characteristics, then it paves way for buyer's decision process. Buyer decision process is nothing that the processes the buyer undergo while making purchases. So this will give response to the buyer's response has to do with product choice, that is the type of product the person is willing to buy, and then brand choice, the brand, the exact name, exact make of that product, then dealer's choice, and then purchase timing, and then purchase amount. So these have given us a clear picture of what black box model is all about. And you can believe with me that it's aroused, it could easily arouse buyers' intention, easily arouse buyers to go for the product which they may not have ordinarily buy, if not because of what we have mentioned in this lecture. So we might summarize in this unit, which is the summary of module 1, unit 3, module 1, that the study of consumer behavior can be achieved through input from both traditional and contemporary models of buyers' behavior. Remember that the model I discussed, the first and second one, that's Pavlov's theory of learning, or learning theory, and Machiavellian economic models are traditional model of consumer behavior, while my buyer's black box is contemporary buyer's behavior. So the idea is that both traditional and contemporary models has great influence in a buyer's behavior, and human brain is referred to as it's rather black box. It's not. It was erroneously typed as brain box. It's not brain box, please. Students should know that number 3 is rather black box. And I had earlier told you that human in marketing arena, when somebody has not been exposed to an item, we could say that it's black. That is, the mind is black. The mind is dark. There is no stimulus that has entered the mind to produce response. It is only when something like promotional messages, product pictures, availability of the products, and the price of the product has injected into the person's brain, that the brain becomes as a light on it, and it is when that is done that it produces a response. And then we can say that an organization that offers high quality products and services normally enjoy more loyal customers and increases sales and profit. Of course, it is obvious. When an organization offers high quality products and services, they are bound to retain customers, are bound to go for the product, and then they are bound to repeat over again. That will increase sales and profit. I must say that this is where the module 1 comes to an end, and we have come to an end for that very module, having summarized all we have discussed so far. Thank you very much. And then let's say, students are expected to raise questions, interact with, we do interactive lecturing, raise questions, discuss it in class, we have a common discussion, because as I earlier said, no lecturer has said it all, no textbook has said it all, no event has said it all. It's a combination of lecturers, textbooks, other information all around that make a complete knowledge. Thank you very much. Now, we are proceeding to our next lecture, or rather model. Of course, we are introducing a new model and the makeup, and that is module 2, and it's comprised like any other module. It's comprised like any other module, 3 units. It's comprised like any other module, 3 units. And the model is factors determining consumer behavior. Factors determining consumer behavior. Sorry, please. Okay. I don't know. My dear students, I have to apologize for breaking transmission. As I earlier said, today's lecture is rather taken from a module 2, where we have, as usual, 3 units. And unit 1 is talking about, rather, the title is Factors Determining Consumers' Behavior. As you can see, we were able to establish that consumer does not just engage in purchases without some influencing factors. So in specific, we are going to look at those factors that provide them into action. So we have, as I earlier said, 3 units that will address this matter critically. Number 1 is talking about cultural and social factors that determine consumer behavior, personal factors that determine consumer behavior, and psychological factors that determine consumer behavior. Talking about cultural factors, we look at culture and subcultures that determines consumer behavior. We earlier said that people wish to go for a product either with their forefathers or fathers have been using, or as a dictate, as a belief that this is the products that are being used within the environment they found themselves. There's also, under culture, there's also this family determinants. Family has a great role as to what we buy in our household or in the society. In the family, we have father, mother, at the first stage. And within this period, their buying pattern may not be too complicated because it is either the father decide, mother decide. I mean, it's either the husband decide or the wife decide, or a joint decision. But when they begin to raise offspring, when they begin to raise children, in most cases, the children and wife influences purchases. However, the influence, or rather the driving force is rather dependent on the type of product being purchased. Otherwise, when it is a high quality and sophisticated product, it is always determined by parents. And then we also look at social rules and status. Under culture, we look at social rules and status as determining consumers' behavior. And we know that the group we belong to has a great influence in what you are using or what you go for. You want to belong to a group, you want to appear like them, So that will make you to try to comply with their product usage or the type of products they use. We can equally look at the personal factors as it relates to consumer behavior. And other personal factors, we can identify things like age, occupation, personality, self-concept, among others. In some societies, we used to have what we call age grades, age mates, people born within the age bracket. In most cases, their pattern of purchasing and consumption agree. People in age bracket don't want to be looked as inferior. They try to conform to what their age group are using. They try to conform to what their age group are buying. This is also applicable to occupation. Occupation exposes us to engage in purchase of certain products. People in various professions, like the military, police, students, doctors, nurses, and a good number of them are typical example of this occupation we are talking about, especially as it relates to the kind of clothes they put on. Their clothes have always been in uniform because they are to conform with their property they use. They have to align with approved products, approved clothes, which they are supposed to use. Then, talking about self-concepts, is rather how one describes himself and would wish others to see him as such. This being the case, if you want to describe yourself as an outstanding person, then what you go in for will show for it. What you put on should align with it to justify what you are and what people should take you for. Another interesting factor as classified under this model is psychological factors. Psychological factors. Under psychological factors, we have motivation, we have perception, we have learning, we have past experience, we have beliefs and attitudes. I repeat, under psychological factors, we have motivation, we have perception, we have learning, we have belief and attitudes. We had earlier looked at promotional messages as being capable to motivate us to make a purchase. It serves as inner drives that result to arousal. Promotion appeals to our sense of feeling, our sense of lightness, our sense of emotional, it gives emotional appeal to what we go in for. And then talking about perception, perception could be described simply as a mindset. Our mindset in an object. are ways of interpreting, ways we interpret the object and assign meaning to it in our mind. Demonstrating what perception is all about, we could use a visit by deceased blind men to elephants. Deceased blind men decided to go and see elephants. Incidentally, their sight is blurred, but they were able to describe the elephants through mindset, through sense of touch. Some say elephant is very rich, some say it has big eyes, some say it is black, some say it is a little blonde figure, and so on and so forth. So this is also applicable to our everyday action. In most cases, we try to assign meaning to an object based on our belief, our mindset, based on our perception. Okay, then we talk about learning. Learning is all in this context is nothing other than past experience. We could recall the experiments carried out by Pavlov, where he described past experience as capable of determining future purchases. So we are trying to prove that what we had experienced in the past can make or mar a purchase. It can make or mar a purchase. When we are satisfied with our purchases, we are tempted to make a repeat purchase. We are tempted to be loyal. We are tempted to go over and over to buy the product. Even the product may have developed faults. As an individual, you can think back in a number of ways that experience such attitude, such action, where you have somebody who steadily sells the products to you, how you have committedly made purchases from him, not mind. Some unfaithful seller has used the advantage to exploit their customers. This is not a marketing practice. It is condemned marketing because you have to be honest to your customers. Okay, the other one is beliefs. Belief is nothing other than the description we attach to something. The description we attach to something, the faith, the trust we have on something. And of course, it is this belief that produce attitude. And we know that attitude will be positive or negative. Our attitude could be positive or negative, depending on the way we find ourselves after using the product, or how we mind as regard what the product is all about. One can develop positive attitude to a service, to a product or service that has given him satisfaction. He can consistently be patronizing that product, not minding the cost or the challenges he might face in going for the product. But the opposite will be the case where the product did not satisfy the consumers. Such consumers will develop a hatred with dissonance on the product. They will dislike the product the slide is seller, and even the slide place about the product. Questions are from time to time raised as to how do we reduce dissonance? Or the other way around, we can say, why do organizations attempt to produce a product that may not ordinarily give consumers or customers desired satisfaction? A number of reasons in relation to this cause can be adduced. Some do that in the belief that consumers may forego the experience they have and make a repeat purchase, or that they are in seller's market where they are the sole determinant of what is offered to the buyer, or that the buyer do not have a good knowledge of the quality make of that product, or it may be a way of trying to maximize profit. We can summarize these units in this form. We can say that popular influencing consumer buying choice include motivation, perception, learning, beliefs, and attitudes. And a need becomes a motive when it is aroused to a sufficient level or intensity to drive us to act. So it is only that need that is capable of driving us to make purchase that becomes a motive. Then we also have that perception depends on how one is motivated. That perception is dependent on how we are motivated. And the marketers should be familiar with the learning model and should endeavor to produce products and services that produce cognitive consonance as against dissonance. The positive past experience result to customer loyalty and retention. It is here that we conclude our lectures for the day in respect to Module 2, which has actually brought to light those factors make us to go for a service or a product. I wish to believe that you can always ask your questions. You can always put up a suggestion in your own way as a way of showing that you actually lively when the lecture was going on, as a way of enhancing your understanding on the subject matter, because remaining moods may also not be the best. So having said this, today's lecture has come to an end. Thank you very much.